My parents missed every birthday of my life, but when they saw me on TV accepting my $105 million lottery win, they claimed they always knew I'd make it. Hello dear ones. Please subscribe, comment a quick hi, and tell us where you're watching from. Now let's continue this journey together. I stood in front of the Lottery Commission building, ticket clutched in my trembling hand, unable to process what was happening. $105 million. The numbers I'd been playing for 3 years. My birthday, April 15th, had finally hit. The irony wasn't lost on me. The date nobody in my family ever remembered was about to change my life forever. Miss Carter? Lily Carter. The official smiled warmly. Congratulations. You're our biggest winner this year. I nodded, but my mind drifted to last week. My 32nd birthday. I'd sat alone in my studio apartment eating discount cake, scrolling through social media. My parents had posted elaborate photos from my younger sister Janelle's yacht party. My brother Caleb got a new BMW for his birthday last month. I got silence. Growing up, I learned to expect nothing. While Janelle got princess parties and Caleb got laser tag extravaganzas, I got we forgot baby. Next year never came. 25 consecutive birthdays ignored. I stopped expecting cards at 18. Stopped hoping for calls at 25. The press conference is in an hour, the official continued. We'll announce your win publicly. That okay? I hesitated. My family didn't know about my lottery habit. My weekly purchase from the corner store where Mrs. Madison always asked about my day. They didn't know anything about my life. I was the invisible daughter, the forgotten sister. Yes, I finally said. Let's do it. If you've ever felt invisible in your own family, you know this moment. When something finally makes you matter. I just didn't know the nightmare it would unleash. The press conference felt surreal. Cameras flashed as I held the oversized check, my retail uniform still on because I'd come straight from my shift at the department store. I hadn't planned for this moment, hadn't prepared remarks. The reporters fired questions rapidly. What will you do with the money, Lily? I thought about my student loans. $60,000 from a degree my parents said was a waste for someone like you. I thought about the leaky ceiling in my apartment, the car that wouldn't start half the time, the medical bills from when I had pneumonia last year and couldn't afford to miss work. I'll finally take care of myself, I said simply. That soundbite would play everywhere. Within 2 hours it was viral. My face plastered across every major news outlet. Local woman wins $105 million jackpot. Plans to finally take care of herself. The internet loved the honesty, the raw vulnerability in my voice. I turned off my phone after the 50th congratulatory message from acquaintances I hadn't heard from in years. But I noticed, nothing from my parents. Nothing from Janelle or Caleb. Radio silence as always. That evening I sat in my apartment, the enormity hitting me. I'd won more money than I could spend in 10 lifetimes. Money meant freedom. From struggle, from proving myself, from begging for scraps of attention. Mrs. Madison from the corner store called. Lily, I saw you on TV. I'm so happy for you, sweetheart. I cried then. A stranger cared more than my own blood. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Lily, baby, we saw you on TV. My mother's voice, saccharine sweet, sounded foreign. We're so proud. We always knew you'd make it big. My stomach dropped. 25 forgotten birthdays. And now suddenly they knew I existed. They showed up at 7 a.m. the next morning. All of them. I opened my door to find my mother, father, Janelle and Caleb crowding my tiny hallway, arms laden with flowers and gift bags. Surprise. Mom squealed, pushing past me. We wanted to celebrate our lottery winner. I stood frozen. My father, who hadn't visited my apartment once in the 3 years I'd lived there, was now inspecting my space with barely concealed disgust. Janelle perched on my second-hand couch like it might contaminate her designer outfit. Caleb immediately started photographing everything. What are you doing here? The question came out hollow. To celebrate you, obviously. Janelle chirped. Our famous sister. Do you know how many friend requests I've gotten? Everyone wants to know the lottery winner's family. Your phone was off, Dad said, his tone accusatory. We've been trying to reach you all night. We have plans to discuss. Plans. Not, how are you feeling? Not, this must be overwhelming. Plans. Mom grabbed my hands, her perfectly manicured nails digging into my skin. Lily, baby, we need to talk about investments. Your father has connections. You forgot my birthday last week. The words escaped before I could stop them. You've forgotten every birthday for 25 years. Silence. Then Mom laughed. A light, dismissive sound. Oh, Lily. Don't be dramatic. We've been busy. You know we love you. Busy posting about Janelle's yacht party? Busy buying Caleb a BMW. Caleb rolled his eyes. Here we go. The victim act. You won $105 million, Lily. Can you focus on that instead of ancient history? Ancient history. 25 years of neglect reduced to ancient history. We're family, Dad said firmly. And family takes care of family. Now sit down. We need to discuss how you'll be helping everyone. Helping everyone. The invisible daughter suddenly became their salvation. I've created a spreadsheet, Janelle announced, pulling out her iPad, of what each family member needs. It's only fair, we're family. I stared at the columns. Caleb wanted $500,000 for a startup idea. Janelle needed $800,000 to buy a house in the good neighborhood because I can't raise future children around poor people. My parents, $2 million for their retirement fund. That's over $3 million, I said slowly. It's less than 3% of your winnings, Dad countered. Don't be selfish. Selfish. The woman who'd spent birthdays alone was selfish for hesitating. I need to think. What's there to think about? Mom interrupted. We raised you, fed you, clothed you. This is payback time. Something inside me shifted. Payback for what? For the Christmases where my gifts came from dollar stores while my siblings got electronics? For the college they refused to help with because I probably wouldn't finish anyway? For the wedding they didn't attend because Janelle had a spa day scheduled? I need you all to leave, I said quietly. Excuse me. Dad's face reddened. Leave. No. I'll call you when I'm ready to talk. Caleb laughed. You'll call us? Who do you think you are? I'm the person who just won $105 million. And you're in my apartment uninvited. Leave. The temperature in the room dropped. Mom's face contorted. After everything we've done for you? This is how you treat family. What have you done for me? Name one thing. One birthday you remembered. One time you showed up when I needed you. The silence was damning. You're making a huge mistake, Dad said, standing. Family is everything. Without us, you're nothing. They left, slamming the door. I collapsed onto my couch, shaking. This was just the beginning. By evening, my phone exploded with messages. Not from my family, they'd blocked me. But from extended relatives, family, friends, people I barely knew, all saying the same thing. How could you treat your parents so badly? Family raised you and you turn your back on them? Money changes people. Shame on you. I opened social media. My stomach lurched. Janelle had posted a long, tearful video. My sister won the lottery, she sobbed to the camera. We were so happy for her. We went to celebrate and she threw us out. He called us greedy. Said we never loved her. Breaks my heart. Our parents are devastated. Comments poured in by the thousands. Ungrateful. Disgusting. Poor parents. Caleb posted screenshots of the modest amounts they'd asked for, conveniently leaving out the total. All we wanted was a little help. She refused. Guess blood means nothing when money's involved. My mother posted throwback photos. Heavily edited memories of a childhood that never existed. My baby girl. I'm so proud even though she won't speak to us. A mother's love never dies. The narrative was set. I was the villain. My phone rang. An unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Lily Carter? A woman's professional voice. This is Rebecca Chase, attorney. I represent your parents in their lawsuit against you. Lawsuit. They're suing for financial support. They claim years of emotional and financial investment in raising you entitles them to compensation from your lottery winnings. We'll be in touch. She hung up. I sat in the darkness of my apartment, the weight crushing me. This wasn't about love. It never had been. I was an investment that finally paid off and they wanted their return. I hired my own attorney, Patricia Morrison, a no-nonsense woman in her 50s who came highly recommended. When I explained the situation, she listened without judgment. Do you have documentation of their neglect? She asked. Documentation. Old cards, photos, anything proving your claims? I thought about my childhood boxes still packed from various moves. That night I went through them. What I found broke me all over again. School programs where parents/guardians was always left blank. Birthday invitations I'd made as a child, never given out because I had no party. Report cards with straight A's and teacher comments. Lily is exceptional but seems withdrawn. Parents haven't responded to conference requests. Then I found my journal from age 12. Today was my birthday. I'd written in careful handwriting. I made a cake from a box mix. Mom said they had to take Janelle to gymnastics. She said sorry but she didn't mean it. I ate cake alone. Made a wish that next year would be different. I wished that every year. I'm going to stop wishing. I photographed everything. Sent it to Patricia. Her response came quickly. This is powerful. But prepare yourself. This will get uglier. He was right. My parents' lawsuit alleged I'd been a difficult, ungrateful child who deliberately withdrew from family activities. They claimed they'd tried everything to connect with me but I'd refused. They produced witness statements from relatives who barely knew me, all attesting to what wonderful parents they were. The media ate it up. Lottery winner accused of lying about family. Only one person publicly defended me. Mrs. Madison from the corner store gave an interview to the local news. That girl came to my store for 3 years. Every birthday she was alone. Every holiday alone. She'd buy a single lottery ticket and say, maybe this year. I saw her cry more than once. Her family. Never saw them once. Her words were drowned out by my family's machine. But they mattered to me. The deposition was worse than I'd imagined. My parents sat across from me, faces masks of wounded innocence. Their attorney, a slick man named Richard Sterling, smiled like a shark. Miss Carter, you claim your parents neglected you. Yet they provided food, shelter, clothing, correct? Basic necessities, yes. Many children worldwide lack that. Seems ungrateful, doesn't it? Patricia objected, but the tone was set. Tell us about Christmas, Sterling continued. Your parents say you received gifts every year. Dollar store items while my siblings got expensive electronics. Gifts are gifts, Miss Carter. Were you expecting equal treatment? Life isn't fair. I was expecting acknowledgement. Love. Attention. Attention. Sterling leaned forward. Your parents worked hard. Your father had 2 jobs. Your mother managed a household. Perhaps you were simply more independent. I was 11 when I learned to forge their signatures on permission slips because they wouldn't sign them. 14 when I started working to buy my own school supplies. Industrious, Sterling said smoothly. Many would call that good parenting, teaching self-sufficiency. I wanted to scream. They were twisting everything. Did your parents ever physically abuse you? No. Starve you? No. Prevent you from attending school? No, but... So you admit they provided basic care. This lawsuit seems like revenge for not receiving enough birthday parties. Quite petty given your current wealth. Patricia intervened. My client isn't required to justify her emotional needs. Neglect isn't always physical. During the break, my mother cornered me in the bathroom. Her mask slipped. You stupid girl, she hissed. You could have given us what we asked for quietly. Now everyone will know what you really are, an ungrateful brat who thinks she's better than her family. I just wanted you to love me. She laughed coldly. Love doesn't pay bills, Lily. Grow up. Patricia called me urgently 2 days later. Come to my office. Now. When I arrived, she had papers spread across her desk. I hired a private investigator. You need to see this. The documents revealed truths I'd never imagined. My parents had taken out credit cards in my name when I was 16, maxed out and never paid, destroying my credit before I'd even started my adult life. They'd stolen the savings bonds my grandmother left me when she died. They'd claimed me as a dependent on their taxes for 5 years after I'd moved out. There's more, Patricia said quietly. Your grandmother's will. She left you $50,000. Your parents told you she left nothing, remember? I nodded numbly. They forged documents, took the inheritance. Used it for Janelle's wedding. My sister's perfect wedding. The one they didn't tell me about until after it happened. We didn't think you'd want to come, they'd said. This is fraud, Patricia continued. Multiple felonies. We file these charges, the lawsuit disappears. But Lily, this will destroy them. I thought about my mother's cold eyes in the bathroom. My father's sneer when he called me selfish. Caleb's mockery. Janelle's cruel social media campaign. They already destroyed me, I said. File everything. Within hours the news broke. Federal investigation into identity theft and fraud. The story exploded. Suddenly the narrative shifted. Lottery winner's parents stole her identity. Family sued daughter after years of financial fraud. The comments section transformed. This poor woman. The parents are monsters. She should never speak to them again. My phone rang constantly, news outlets wanting interviews, people apologizing for judging me. But one call stood out. Lily. A tentative female voice. This is your Aunt Sharon. Your mother's sister. I need to tell you something about your childhood. Something you deserve to know. Aunt Sharon met me at a quiet coffee shop. I hadn't seen her in 15 years. She'd moved away when I was 17. Her hands shook as she stirred her coffee. I should have told you years ago, she began. I was a coward. I'm so sorry. Told me what? She took a breath. Your parents never wanted you, Lily. Your mother got pregnant during a rough patch in their marriage. She wanted an abortion, but your father refused. Thought it would save their relationship. It didn't. They resented you from the start. The words hit like physical blows. I'd suspected I wasn't wanted. But hearing it confirmed. When Janelle came along 3 years later, it was different. She was planned. They called her their real start. Kildu. You were the reminder of their worst period. Your mother told me once, I'll never forget it, she said, every time I look at Lily I see my biggest mistake. Tears streamed down my face. Sharon gripped my hand. I tried to intervene. Fought with your parents about how they treated you. They cut me off, said I was overstepping. I moved away, told myself maybe I was imagining it. But I wasn't, was I? No, I whispered. You weren't. When I saw the news, saw what they were doing to you over money, I couldn't stay silent anymore. You deserved better. You always did. That little girl who used to help me in the garden, who was so sweet and kind despite everything. You deserved parents who cherished you. I thought about all the times I'd blamed myself. Wondered what was wrong with me, why I couldn't earn their love. It was never about me. I was born into a role I couldn't escape. The unwanted child. Thank you for telling me, I managed. Sharon hugged me tightly. You're not their mistake, Lily. You're a miracle who survived them. That interview with Sharon would air that evening. Another nail in my parents' coffin. The fraud charges brought everything to court. I sat in the gallery watching my parents squirm under questioning. The prosecutor, a stern woman named Ms. Davidson, was merciless. Mr. Carter, you opened 4 credit cards in your daughter's name. Can you explain? My father shifted. We needed the money. We planned to pay it back. You never made a single payment. $17,000 in debt that destroyed your daughter's credit. She couldn't rent apartments, get car loans because of you. She was family. We thought she'd understand. Understand identity theft? The judge's expression said everything. Caleb was called to testify. The prosecutor asked about his BMW. Your parents bought you a $50,000 car for your birthday, correct? Yes. The same parents claiming poverty in their lawsuit against your sister? That was different. Different how? They had money for your car but not for acknowledging Lily's existence. Caleb had no answer. Janelle's testimony was worse. Under oath, she admitted they'd planned the lawsuit before even visiting me. We talked about it the night we saw the news, she said. Figured we deserved something. Deserved, the prosecutor repeated. Based on what? She's family. Define family, Ms. Carter. Because from these records, your family excluded Lily from every significant event for 25 years. The evidence mounted. Photos of my siblings' lavish parties contrasted with nothing for me. Tax documents proving fraud. Testimony from teachers, neighbors, even Mrs. Madison, all painting the same picture. A child emotionally abandoned while her siblings were treasured. My mother finally took the stand. Under pressure, her composure cracked. She was difficult, she shouted. Always moping, always needy. Nothing was ever enough. What did she ask for? Miss Davidson pressed. Attention. Constantly wanting attention. A child wanted her mother's attention. How unreasonable. The sarcasm was cutting. What about her birthdays, Mrs. Carter? 25 consecutive years forgotten. Was that because she was difficult? My mother's face twisted. We had other priorities. Like your other children. Yes. They were easier to love. The courtroom went silent. Even her attorney looked horrified. She'd said it out loud. Admitted what I'd always known. I wasn't worth loving. The verdict came swift and brutal. My parents were convicted on multiple counts of fraud and identity theft. Restitution was ordered. They'd have to pay back everything they'd stolen plus damages. Their lawsuit against me was dismissed with prejudice. But it was the judge's words that resonated. In 30 years on the bench, I've never seen such calculated emotional abuse. You didn't just neglect your daughter. You systematically excluded her while lavishing attention on your other children. Then when she succeeded despite you, you attempted to exploit her. Your actions are reprehensible. My father was sentenced to 3 years probation and community service. My mother, who'd orchestrated most of the fraud, got 18 months in minimum security. Caleb and Janelle faced no criminal charges, but the court of public opinion was merciless. Janelle lost her influencer sponsorships. Brands didn't want association with someone who'd attacked their lottery-winning sister. Caleb's startup investors pulled out. They were tainted by association. The media coverage was overwhelming. I became a symbol, the underdog who survived family betrayal. Interview requests poured in. Book deals. Speaking opportunities. Everyone wanted my story. But I felt hollow. Patricia hugged me after the verdict. You won, Lily. They can't hurt you anymore. But they already had. Winning the lottery should have been joyful. Instead, it revealed that my family's love was always conditional. They didn't love me, they loved what I could provide. That night, alone in the hotel room I'd moved to for privacy, I broke down. Sobbed for the childhood I'd never had, the parents who'd never wanted me, the siblings who'd seen me as competition rather than family. Mrs. Madison called. You okay, sweetheart? I don't know, I admitted. Come by the store tomorrow. I'll make you tea. We'll talk. A stranger offering more comfort than my blood ever had. 6 months passed. I'd moved to a new city, bought a modest house and started therapy. Dr. Williams helped me process decades of neglect and the recent trauma. You spent your life seeking validation from people incapable of giving it, she said during one session. Now you're free to define family on your terms. I donated $10 million to organizations supporting neglected children. Started a scholarship fund for kids from dysfunctional families. Funded therapy programs. Turned my pain into purpose. Mrs. Madison moved to my new city. I'd bought her a house near mine. You're the daughter I never had, she'd said when I offered. We had weekly dinners. She taught me her grandmother's recipes. Gave me the mothering I'd craved. Aunt Sharon became a constant presence. We rebuilt our relationship. She introduced me to cousins I'd never known. Family members who'd been kept from me deliberately. Your parents isolated you, one cousin explained. Told us you didn't want contact. We believed them. More lies. More manipulation. But I was building something new. Real friendships with people who valued me. A chosen family based on love, not obligation. My parents sent letters from prison. Mom's anyway. Apologies that felt empty, requests for forgiveness wrapped in justifications. We made mistakes, but we're still your parents. I never responded. Caleb reached out once. I'm sorry, he texted. I was selfish. Can we talk? Maybe someday. But not now. The wounds were too fresh. Janelle never apologized. Her social media showed a new narrative. She was the victim of a vindictive sister. Some people believed her. I stopped caring. The lottery money sat mostly untouched. After donations and legal fees, I still had over 90 million. But it felt meaningless. Money couldn't buy what I'd really wanted. A family who loved me. Dr. Williams reminded me, you survived them. That's your victory. Survival felt like a hollowed trophy. But it was mine. I stood at the window of my new house watching autumn leaves fall. 3 years since the lottery win. 3 years since my family's masks crumbled. 3 years of therapy, healing, and learning to exist without the approval I'd chased my whole life. Mrs. Madison had passed away 6 months ago, peaceful in her sleep. She'd left me a note. You were always enough, Lily. Always. I kept it framed on my nightstand. Her funeral was full of people who loved her. I realized she'd shown me what real family looked like. Aunt Sharon called weekly. My cousins invited me to holidays. I had friends now, genuine ones who liked me for me, not my money. I'd even started dating someone kind who listened when I talked about my childhood without trying to fix it. But some wounds never fully heal. I'd accomplished everything: financial security, legal justice, public vindication. My parents served their time. My siblings faded into obscurity. I won. So why did it still hurt? Because money couldn't buy back missed birthdays. Justice couldn't create memories that never existed. Public support couldn't fill the hole where parental love should have been. I'd spent 35 years as the forgotten child. Even now, successful and surrounded by chosen family, part of me remained that little girl eating birthday cake alone, wishing her parents would remember her. The lottery win didn't save me. It just revealed what was always true: I was never the problem. They were. But knowing that doesn't stop the ache. I've learned to live with it. Found purpose in helping other forgotten children. Built a life where I'm valued. Surrounded myself with people who show up, who remember birthdays, who see me. But late at night sometimes I still wonder, what if they'd just loved me? What if I'd been enough? Those questions have no answers. I won the lottery. Lost my family. Gained my freedom. And I'm learning that freedom comes with its own kind of loneliness. My parents were wrong. Family isn't everything. But the absence of it, that's something too. Okay. I'm healing. I'm building something better. But if I'm honest, part of me will always be that forgotten child waiting for parents who will never come. Sometimes victory is just survival wearing a prettier mask. If you felt invisible in your own family, know this: you're not alone. Your pain is valid. And choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's survival. What would you have done in Lily's shoes? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real stories about choosing yourself over toxic family. Remember, blood doesn't make family, love does.